guys, welcome to Podcast Fandom Premium. I'm your host, Nina.
And I'm Donald.
And we are back to discuss Money Heist Season 1, Episodes 3 and 4. If you are a time traveler, you have access to this as of Sunday, August 1st. This is our very first. Well, last week was like a test run on how this would work, like releasing content early for some subscribers and not others. And I think I have it down. The test will be tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first time that I take something that was posted for time travelers and make it open to premium subscribers. And I think it's as simple as just going into the post and changing a setting. We shall see. hopefully I know what I'm doing. But today we're going to be talking about episodes 3 and 4, Money Heist. Donnie, listen. Man, fuck these people. Let me just tell you right now. I cannot stand Tokyo and Rio. I can't stand Tokyo and Rio. I hate them. I don't like them. Mm-mm. Am I supposed to?
No.
They are the worst. They're just annoying.
They're complete fuck ups.
They're just fuck ups, yes, and it's just so annoying. And I'm just like, who cares? And he's like 12. Why do you care about this little boy? Like, why are you fucking children, girl? Like, what's wrong with you? And then in one of these episodes, they were like, Berlin was like, she's 15 years older than you. I was like, 15? I was waiting for him to be like, she told me 12.
And we still didn't get his age, but they said he's under 26.
Yeah, they said at max 26, right. So she would have to be at max
40.
40? What?
She doesn't look 40.
She doesn't look 40. She has to be in her 30s. She has to be if they're saying she's 12 to 15 years older than him. Yeah. I don't know. Do you have anything to say before we dive into this? Because you've seen this shit already. I have a lot to say.
No, go ahead.
All right. So I don't know the title of these episodes, but episode 3 is 20 hours after the heist. They first go in, right?
Right.
And it is 6:25 in the morning. The synopsis: the hostages are put to work. Raquel tries to quit, and Rio and Tokyo fuck things up again.
Yeah. And the episode kicks right off where the last one left with him in the cafe with
Yes.
And then she gets the call of, oh, we got, isn't it this is where she gets the, or no, is it later?
She gets the call about, no, this is where she gets the call about getting somebody else's face.
That's right.
Yeah, then, because they have, and we find out at the end that it's Tokyo's face.
Right.
Right. Okay, so when he's talking to her in the cafe, and he lets her use his phone. I didn't even realize no, she didn't take his phone then. She took it the second time. Okay. But here, when he asks her about her job and like when you are in situations like this, because like they start talking about it on the news in the diner and he's like, oh, that's you. And when he asks her like, oh, when you go in and you're handling situations like this, like, do you try to, is it all about just catching the bad guy or do you try to like make sure people don't get hurt? Right. And she says, you know, it's about trying to make sure people don't get hurt. And she walked away. And I'm like, is that why he got upset when it seemed like she was leaving the case? Right? Because like he wants right. Someone that's not going to like cause people to like go in their guns blazing, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but also fuck this love story. I don't care about Rio and Tokyo like at all. And it's because of them that they fuck up the thing with the phone. So they ask people if they need like medication, right? Like if people need. So like this one woman, she's like, I need my Zoloft. I was like, hey sis, me too. When she said the name of that drug, I was like, oh, that's mine. She was like, I need my Zoloft. And other people, there's like a diabetic. Monica's like, I need an abortion pill.
Arturo.
What? Jesus Christ.
You're killing my baby?
He don't give a shit. Fuck him. So, so then the girl, Allison, she's like, can I just go on the internet to delete a picture? Like someone tricked me and whatever. And Berlin is like, yeah, you can like go make a video for your whole family and tell them to chill and everything's fine. Like everybody can do that.
Right. He said everybody. He sets up what's her Nairobi
Nairobi, right.
to go get them so they could all do the same thing.
Right.
Which I don't think they did. Like I don't know because they only showed Parker, but they
Right.
didn't show
You just saw
everybody else.
her making the video, but like, yeah. But when she's making the video, like she's having a moment with Rio, and
Right.
I'm like,
And I was going to ask you if you thought because at this point I felt like there was they're teasing like
a relation, like
right.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
felt like when what's her name came in, Tokyo comes in, I was
She was
jealous.
Yes, because this is a more age appropriate fucking
Right.
relationship.
Like, you're my age.
It's like I would be in third period right now if it wasn't for this nonsense. But yeah, I absolutely thought that they were. There's like a connection there, and she was jealous as fuck when she walked in.
Yes.
And then she wanted to interrupt that shit. And in
Yes,
doing
that's why they
so,
fought.
yeah, and they're fighting. But no, what they were fighting about was him.
What she had told because she had told the professor that no, he should.
They were-
I don't.
yeah.
Right. I'm not fucking with this young kid.
Because he's a kid, yeah. So his feelings were hurt. So she got to sit here and massage his little fifis, and while he's doing it, while she's doing that, homegirl's over there turning her phone on to delete that picture. Now, this is hilarious to me because you are held hostage. She didn't try to call no cops. She was like, I can get my titties off the internet. My girl's like, fuck, I could die tomorrow, but I gotta get my tits off
Like,
the
my
gram.
daddy's gonna kill me if I don't get this picture off of here.
She's like, I die in here or I die when I leave. It don't matter. I got my tits on the gram. So, they hack her phone. And at this point, Raquel's at home, right? Raquel has gone home and, what's his name? Pietri, whatever his name is, the asshole guy. He's in charge, right?
Right.
And so they hack into her phone, and when Rio catches her and gets her to turn it off, they get like a blurry shot of him.
Right.
And that's how they figure out who he is. And I forget, Annabelle is, I think is his name, his real name. But they learn what we knew already, is that he's basically like a hacker.
Yeah.
And he's done some like computer heist, stealing like that.
But the biggest thing they find out here is that the phone's on the walls.
Yes, they get because of the scuffle, they get a look into the fact that all of the hostages' phones are on the wall with their names under it. This explains why there's been no cell signals or whatever. And she uses that. Raquel, well, first she tries to quit. Wait, I'm skipping ahead. And she tries to quit, but her boss calls her the next day. He's like, bring your ass to work. And he did that thing that bosses do, which is so fucking terrible. When they're trying to convince workers to bring their ass into work when they don't have to, right? Mm-hmm. It's always, nobody but you can do it. I don't trust anybody but you not to fuck this up. It's gaslighting. It's fucking manipulative, and it's terrible. And she's sitting there about to lose custody of her kid. Her mom, I did not realize her mom had Alzheimer's until episode 4.
Yeah,
like,
we showed the post-it notes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, when she was running around that house, like going through the post-it notes, my heart broke. And she's reading everything, and she's like, I no longer live here. I live in Madrid. I live here. I was like, that is fucking terrible. That you cannot. That's like that happens to people. That's just my heart broke. She has to read all these things. But I felt like the one that was like, there's a restraining order against my ex-husband. I feel like that should have, man, you need to put that shit everywhere on a fucking quilt. You need to fucking embroider that shit on a big ass sign, and it needs to just hang up in every room in the house. Like, Mom, read this shit every time you walk into a room.
And and you think about it, that makes the husband even more fucked up because he used it against the mother because he knows.
That's why I said I would have shot him in his fucking leg when they were in the kitchen. That's why I already know. Donnie, I'd have been shot you by now. And we know me. I would have shot somebody if I had a gun by now. So no. Um, Berlin just want to kill niggas. He's like, well, you got to let me kill somebody to make an example because, oh yeah, so when she calls him, right, when she goes back, Raquel goes back to the job. She lets the commissioner guilt her. She goes back. She tells the captain guy, whoever, she's like, look, I'm sorry for the shit, but we want the same thing, and I'm not going to be like a puppet, right? Like, I just want to like do my job and get these people out here safe. And he's like, all right, that's cool, but I should tell you, I'm a happily married man. I was like, ain't nobody think about fucking you. Like, what is wrong with men? Why? This bitch was just like, let's be professional, let's save some lives, good job. And he's like, I don't want to fuck you. She's like, what?
I'm a married man. That's just so, it's just out of place. It was like,
it's
thinking with his dick.
There's so many things that fuck up because of male bullshit in these two episodes. That's just one of them.
But I love how smart it, like when they find out who Rio is and she puts it together, she goes, okay, then he knows about the security systems.
He probably had to case the joint.
He's casing it out. Let's go back to security footage to find him.
Right. And they had like a hard drive of security footage of the place, you know, from before, like when all this went down, but they didn't know, they didn't know that there was, you know, valuable information, so they hadn't like bothered looking at it. And then Berlin gets Helsinki and what's his brother's name? Oslo? Is that his name?
Yes, Oslo.
Oslo to punish Rio, and I was like, "Ooh, they're gonna kill him," and I don't care because fuck Rio. But they didn't. They just beat his ass. Yep. And when she sees that she lose her shit, she starts shooting out cameras and shit. She calls the professor on his Fisher Price phone. I ain't heard an analog phone ring in a minute. That was hilarious. Yep. And she's just like, if you lay your hands on him again and blah, and I was just like, girl, sis, this.
But see, like right before I love it because right before this. And I don't know if you caught it, but actually right after Raquel, like they were in the tent or whatever doing the thing, and then she's like, oh, I'm gonna go get some breakfast or get something to eat. He's got a police scanner, and he hears them say, hey, remove the press, pull the paparazzi away because basically what's her name's going to go get something to eat. So that's when he goes, and she's eating breakfast, and he walks into the cafeteria again and interrupts her again. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you can't just keep coming into her every single day. You're just like so sus that just walking into this lady. But then that's when the altercation, the altercation happens because he's like all being nosy again. And she tries to walk away from him, but she grips him up and throws him on the counter and stuff like that because she's like, are you pressed?
But look.
I'm not pressed.
But listen,
she was downloading the picture because they had just sent her the picture of Tokyo.
Right. And so that's how we don't know right away either. Like, you know, which one they busted.
Right. But, so then at this scene when they're shooting at the cameras, he already knows that they have Tokyo's picture.
Yes.
And he tells her over the phone. He's like, they know who you are.
And then they show like her mugshot that they're putting up on TV, and I think her name is Celine. I think that's what it says. Or I mean, unless that's like where she was arrested. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the mugshots look like in Spain. So I think it's Celine. That's what I wrote. Selena or something like that. And then, okay, so when Denver goes to take homegirl when they go to give the meds, he pulls Monica out. Right. And he calls himself, this was so pure and so precious. First of all, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Denver. I know I said he was fucking annoying and a fuck up, but I'm rooting for this kid, okay?
Him and his dad.
Him and his dad. I don't really fuck with anybody else so far. It's Denver and Moscow for me right now. Maybe Monica a little bit, but if she takes that dopey... Oh, no, this motherfucker might be dead. Oh, we didn't talk about episode 4
Nairobi
yet.
Hasn't done anything either. So
No, but she's just a little corny sometimes. That's all. Some of the stuff... And it might be lost in translation, to be honest. I think it's the voiceover thing is not working with me with her. Right. Like, the actress and the voiceover is not a mesh for me.
Gotcha.
But Denver calls himself lecturing Monica about abortion. Mm-hmm. Which, dude, know your place, know your role. This ain't your business. This ain't your baby. Mind your business. But he starts, and I get it. And it's clear he has like abandonment issues because we find out later his mother left.
His mother was going to abandon him.
Right. Oh yeah. Because he was born in prison. You're right. She was
Right.
addicted
She
to
was. He said
drugs.
she was going to abort,
Right.
but
And
she said
she the money on
used the money on
drugs. Oh
drugs.
no
Yeah.
no 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 no. She was gonna sell heroin to pay for the abortion, but she did the
That's
heroin
yeah.
instead.
That's
Yes. And so he was she was in prison, and so she ended up obviously getting clean through, being incarcerated, and he was born in prison. So he has these issues, and I get what he was saying, but she's like, dude, mind your business. So he was like, what is the problem? Like, what is it that you think you can't do with a kid? And I was like, dude, a lot of things. Like, it's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that I didn't do because I have kids.
right.
I made that choice. There are things that I'm trying to do now that I should have did before, but I couldn't because I made a different choice. I'm like, mind your business. Get out this lady's business. But he's still going, and he's like, is it money? He has this heifer 20,000 euros, and she just tucks it in her shirt. And I was like, this is where you should have just went back inside, sis. Like, just take. Whether you take the pill or not, just take the cash and go. So she's like, okay, thank you. Give me the pill. I'll think about it, whatever. Now, what he doesn't know is that she let Arturo's stupid ass talk her into getting the cell phone that he keeps in his jacket in his office, right?
Because that's all he did this episode was manipulate people.
Listen, why is nobody asking why this nigga got two cell phones? Why is the mistress surprised about the burner phone? If I'm your mistress, I want to know about all the burner phones, right? Like, you're supposed to have burner phones for me. Why you got another one? Who calling this phone? So I'm like, I hope he's dead, but I also hope he's not, because I feel like nobody's asking the question why this nigga had two cell phones. But okay. So she gets the phone from his pocket, and when the thing between her and Denver breaks up, because Berlin walks in and he's like, all right, go take your little abortion pill or whatever. And she walks off. The fucking phone. Why you got sound notifications on your burner phone? Like,
right,
that's
like, and now, like, that's what kind of threw me off. Is like they've been in there now for 24 hours or so, and just now the phone's going off, and people have been in that office before.
Because it is the hoe phone, Donnie. It's the hoe phone.
It
The
is on their
hoe. The hoe don't.
Where
Right.
you at, Turtle? It's been 24 hours.
Right. The hoe don't probably even know where he really worked. So she don't know. She's like, oh, it's been the weekend and I'm not supposed to contact, or I don't know, but somebody sent him a message and it goes off, and then Berlin orders Denver to kill her. And the episode ends with you thinking that he shot her.
Right.
And I was like, All right. So episode 4. Denver hides Monica. We learn more about Raquel's mom. And Moscow, and her husband. And Moscow has an emergency. Okay. So one thing we didn't talk about, I did mention it in, I just want to make sure. The hostages are put to work. That was in the last synopsis. So in the last episode, Moscow, we know he's like with drilling, right? And construction and that type of stuff. And I said demolitions, but that might be wrong. But anyway, so they take the boy who took the photo of Allison.
Right.
Arturo.
Was.
And like an old guy, right? And maybe one other guy. I don't know. But they make, Moscow is in charge of them, and he has them breaking the ground, digging a hole, and they can't go outside of like a certain spot. So like he's marked it off.
He's going right into this. He said they're digging down into the sewer system.
And it's 160 feet.
Yeah.
So he has them working in 3-hour shifts. And fucking Arturo with that goddamn jackhammer. When he puts,
I swear, every time we saw Arturo down there, he wasn't doing it.
He wasn't doing shit. I hate him.
He's just scheming how to.
And he's getting the fucking young boy to take all the risks and shit. Get his mistress to go get the phone. But when he hands over, like, he has the jackhammer, and Arturo puts the headset on, like the noise canceling thing, and Moscow was like, be careful, you wouldn't be the first guy to lose a foot to that thing. And I was like, I'd have been like, what? Wait, what did he say? How you gonna say that to him after he puts the headset on? That's the kind of shit you gotta tell me before I put the headset on. So Yeah, so that's what they were doing. And he um got the kid to go snooping, and the kid found what he thought was heroin is fucking explosives. So now this is what set Arturo off to be like, no, we got to try to escape because they're gonna kill us. Like this is why he got so reckless, presumably, right? Because he's convinced they're gonna kill them, right?
Yep.
So he doesn't kill Denver doesn't kill Monica, but he's like, they're gonna fucking kill me, and then they're gonna kill you, like. And she's like, no, no, no. Like, you can shoot
You
me.
can
Like,
hide me.
yeah, hide me. Like, so, but he's like, there's no blood. So she's like, oh, well, you could shoot me here, shoot me in the hand, shoot me in the shoulder. So she goes with thigh. She goes, because my sister got stabbed in the thigh and it bleeds a lot. And I was like, what the fuck is going on in your life? like, like, I would not know. I would not be able to say to anybody, oh, once my so and so got stabbed somewhere and I know that part of the body bleeds a lot. Like, who knows this? But anyway. So she convinces him to shoot her in the thigh. And when I say convince, that's a strong word because she literally was just like, shoot me in the thigh. And he was like, okay. He don't want to die. He was with it. He's like, because like she says it and she goes, it won't, it'll be a lot of blood. And, and she takes his hand and she's like leading him towards the sink. And I was waiting for him to be like, but no. Nope. He was like, bite my hand if you have to. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Make it sexy.
Denver was down with this plan. And just like that, I was rooting for these two.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them. So, and I hope they get together. You're not going to say anything. You can't tell me anything. Okay,
Nope.
fine. So he shoots this bitch in the thigh. And of course, Berlin is like, 2 shots? 2 shots? Like 2 minutes apart?
Yeah, it would like, they were some time apart from each other.
Yeah, 2 minutes apart about.
So it kind of pricks his ears up to investigate.
Tokyo and Rio are annoying. I don't even remember what they did in this episode. I just have they're annoying. That's my notes for them. I hate them so much. But then Moscow learns so they call themselves snitching. That's why they're annoying. Because they're like, we want to tell the professor, like, what you did. And, like, that you ordered Denver to kill this hostage. And, they try to call him, but he's not there. Because he's off having lunch. What's her name? So Denver comes in, and they tell Denver. And Denver goes to the bathroom, and he sees, Moscow. They tell him that Denver killed a woman, and so he goes to the bathroom and he sees Denver washing up, but Denver has already moved her to this vault that no one, but only she has access to, and he put her in there. So, but when Moscow goes to Denver, Berlin is there, so Denver has to keep up with the lie and say that he killed her, and that causes Moscow to have a panic attack, and they think it's like going to be a heart attack, right? Yep. And their relationship is really interesting because we see in a flashback that when Moscow got out of prison, Denver was there to pick him up and he could tell something was wrong. As it turns out, Denver was selling drugs for someone, and the drugs got some pills and they got stolen from his car. And the guy is like, you got to die now. That's the rules. Like, you can't pay me the money that the pills cost. Then, like, they break your nose, they break all this shit. And the money is due that night and he doesn't have it. So what it appears is that Moscow took this job with the professor to, help get his son out of that, to help them both, like, just not have to deal with, make a score and then just go live their lives and not have to deal with this anymore. And I'm assuming, like, they were living in that house that the professor had because, like the guy that Denver owes the money to wouldn't know where that is. Right. Like, so they've been living there for the 5 or 6 months that they've been planning this heist, right?
Yeah, all of them for the most part, I think, are on a run. Like, that's how the pilot starts out with Tokyo on the run.
So they're just
remember, because she couldn't go home because of police and everybody.
Right. Okay. So, Raquel's ex ain't shit because, like we said, he goes and he gets his daughter when Raquel's at work, and the mother who suffers from Alzheimer's doesn't remember that there's a restraining order and that he only gets her like once a month or some shit. And so he came there and took her, and when the mother realizes that, when she has like this moment of lucidity and she's like, oh shit, she tries to call Raquel, she's not answering, but because Raquel had left her a voicemail from the professor's phone, the mother calls that phone.
Yep.
And she's like, I need to reach my daughter. So he takes his ass to the fucking command center. He gets through the barricade. I'm like, how they do things in Spain. In America, they'd have shot him in his forehead. He'd have walked up to the barrack. I need to get to this. And he'd have insisted. And he'd have just, they ain't letting you in there. But he goes in the command tent with her phone. And because they have something set up where the calls that are picked up on those things, like it goes through the antenna,
right. They have everything in that area that's digital.
So her phone call was being broadcast in the tent, and you hear her mother panicking and saying like he took her and all that. And I don't know his name, but like her partner, the big guy with the glasses.
Shit.
She said it in this episode, and I meant
to. She did when he came into the diner. Can't remember his name.
But I like him, and he was like, "Turn it off, turn the volume down, something," because like everybody's in her fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
So she rushes home, and she almost shoots this motherfucker. I told you I would have. And he's like, "You pull your gun on me," and all this shit. He's just a fucking terrible person. And we find out later that he's super fucking terrible because,
Angel is his name, by the way.
Who?
Angel.
Okay. So, when she rushed out to go see her mom, she took the professor's phone, right? So he calls her, right, and says, "You have my phone, Raquel." And they meet at a restaurant to have lunch or whatever, to return the phone. They talk, and then she tells him how, like in the beginning, like it doesn't. And I really like this conversation because she was just like, "You looking at me like she's like a fucking head of this hostage negotiation team,
right.
Like." This is not a woman that most people would expect to be the victim of domestic abuse. And she's like, and I get that. And I loved it. She explained, she goes, it doesn't start that way. Otherwise, nobody would be married to violent men. Like if they just hit you in the beginning, they would be alone. And they know that, So she talks about like how it got progressively worse. And it's the normal shit where it just starts out like controlling and she thinks it's flattering and all this stuff. And then the hitting starts. And she didn't report him. And then he started dating her sister.
Yep.
And so she did, and now people think she's lying, and she's only saying that because he's dating her sister, and she's like, no, it's because I want to make sure that, and that's
protecting my sister.
Yeah, and that's like the part of it that I think a lot of victims don't think about, and I understand why they don't think about it, right? And it shouldn't be their responsibility to think about it, but you hear that a lot with people like, if I don't say what he did to me, he doesn't get punished, he can just go out there and do it to anybody else.
Right.
And I don't know if maybe she hadn't considered that, but then when he hooks up with your sister, you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah. He's, why wouldn't he do that to her,
Right. And I'm sure her sister doesn't like her at this point either. Probably not talking to her.
Well, fuck her sister, okay? Because it don't matter whether he was abusive or not. Why are you fucking your sister's ex-husband? I will never, ever, 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 ever in a million years understand why people, they like break and then like, oh, he used to date my sister or with my, like, no. There's so much dick out there. You don't need to be. I will never under fucking stand. I could drop dead tomorrow. I don't give a fuck who you remarry. It better not be nobody that knew me. What weird shit is that? Anyway. So she tells the professor that everything sucks and, all this stuff. And they have, like, this bonding moment. And the Angel comes in. And I know Angel's like, who is this nigga? Like, Angel look like he gonna get suspicious of the professor. Because he is new. And he's in too much shit.
Right.
Because he just walked in there with her phone. And that's weird. Or his phone. With her mom on the phone. And you're in the middle of this. And I feel like Angel is going to be more perceptive to this motherfucker is sus than she is right now. And then Angel's probably gonna die. Good God.
Unless Angel has a thing for Raquel and he's jealous.
That could be it. Yeah. Yeah, it could be jealousy. I took it professional that he was just like, but that's really gross. Oh God, I hope not. Why are men? Oh God. So then Moscow almost leaves. Like, they calm him down, and then he's like, fuck it. He feels guilty because now he realized he didn't just get him into this kind of like harmless, easy heist, right? This once in a lifetime score, you're in and you're out. Now his son is a murderer. Yeah. So he takes a gun and he's about to walk the fuck out, and everybody's freaking the fuck out. And thankfully, they don't get his face on camera, because Denver gets down on the floor with him and blocks him with the back of his head, and he's telling him, put your mask on, and he tells him, I didn't kill her, she's hiding, it's okay. And they close the doors before anything. And of course the professor is like, what the fuck, because this is all shit. This ain't in the plan.
Right.
This ain't in the plan. But because he's claustrophobic, and we learn that in a flashback too, right? Like, he tells his son that's why he stopped working in the mines, right?
Right.
So he gets this idea to go up on the rooftop, Denver. He's like, we'll have some hostages with us, so they in masks and the jumpsuits, so the cops won't know who's who, and everybody will be carrying guns, some of them fake, obviously. Get down on the walk around the rooftop and just get some fresh air for his dad. And they do that, but he makes the mistake of, they take Arturo, right? And then, because Arturo is such a pain in the fucking ass, Denver's like, you're with me, Arturo. But that makes Arturo overhear Denver telling Moscow that he only shot her and hid her. And he's like, what? You did, what happened to Monica? And he starts flipping out. And he has a fake gun. And he's flipping out. And people, they're like, it's just chaos. And it looks like a kidnapper or one of the robbers.
Right.
And
I like this because this was smart on Denver.
Yes.
Denver and Moscow's part. They're like, they get down on your knees. I thought that was very smart.
Yeah, get down on your knees and put your hands up. They definitely won't shoot us.
Right.
Right? But I like this too because they were telling Arturo, get down. Like, they weren't trying to hem him up. They were like, dude, you need to get down because there are snipers and he's just, and then he gets shot and I was like, yay.
But Arturo even like you didn't talk like he manipulates Monica in this episode also because the young kid wouldn't go get his cell phone. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So he goes and sits next to Monica. And he's like, oh, you should keep the baby. Like we'll have the baby. We'll raise the baby. Basically, try to get back on his side.
He did that so she would go get the phone.
Yes. You didn't catch that? Like he got her back on his side, and then he's like, and I got a phone in my jacket, and if you can go get it, I was like, oh my god, this guy's so manipulative.
I hate him. Oh, I hope he dies. Oh god, I hope he dies. All right, I'm gonna pull up the feedback. Hold on a second. Wait, I don't know if we have any because this would have been early. Yeah, we might not have any for this.
I thought you said there was a couple people that were ahead. Or is that...
That's the Black Summer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys have time. As you see, this is our Sunday show. So every Sunday, you guys are getting 2 podcasts with Money Heist. If you're a time traveler, you're getting 2, talking about 2 episodes. If you're a time traveler, you're getting 2 podcasts talking about 4 episodes. So if you're premium, you just get the 1 talking about 2 episodes. This is the kickoff of our Money Heist coverage, August 1st. This is the kickoff of our new way of doing here, tiered system. So far, it's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate all of you who have been switching over your subscriptions to this early access. It helps us out immensely. So, that's it. Get your feedback in. I cannot wait. Today, every Sunday, in case you guys don't know this, every Sunday I'm going to be posting in the group a reminder with feedback posts linked in the post and just letting you know what shows we're recording this week. I'll let you know which row in the schedule you need to be focused on, going from left to right. Those are the shows we're going to be watching and recording this week, so you can try to, get your feedback in before we do. And so this week, what do we have planned? We have Attack on Titan tomorrow. We have Motherland Fort Salem on Tuesday. We have more Attack on Titan on Thursday. I don't know. We have a lot of stuff. Donnie, what am I forgetting? Oh, Black Summer on Wednesday, and Friday is Beyond Evil. So I told you, podcasting full time means podcast damn near every day. Yay! So what are you doing, Donnie? Why are you making noise?
I was going to get into my edible. But
You see how he couldn't even wait to say goodbye to y'all. You see how he is?
She's getting ready for the next show.
Oh no, I'm getting into my no. So we're gonna go watch some Black Summer now, and maybe some Attack on Titan. Yay!
Are you coming down here, please?
Oh God.
Come on, this TV is beautiful. Come on.
Oh, but I hate being in the living room. I like my bed. All right, whatever. Anyway, you see how he is, guys. Anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow with Attack on Titan.